everyone? It's Courtney Rollins back here with the Aqua Team. This awesome crew right here. What's up, Gail? How you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. Hope
Hey, how
you
you doing,
are all
Rachel?
well
Oh,
too.
yeah. You said what?
Hope you are all doing well too.
Yeah, yeah. How about you, Rachel?
I'm doing good. Pretty good.
Awesome. Awesome. Rachel and Gail are part of the Aqua Team. As I said, Rachel serves as the lead manager. She makes sure no leads are left behind. They're scored properly and sent to the right places. And Gail, she's like the glue. She's the office assistant who, pretty much creates or sets up the deals or the leads for us to qualify and see if we can serve. And there's a lot of different roles we all play, but we have our weekly sales training and we share them with the world because we figure, if we're doing this, we're training, working. Maybe this could be of value to some other folks. So if you're out there in the world, again, this is Courtney Rollins with Aqua Team. We are a wholesale company that's primarily we focus on. And wholesaling is simply the art of finding discounted properties or assets, and what you do with them at the end is up to you. Whether you hold on to them for your own portfolio, partner with someone, assign the contract and actually sell the contract, or flip them, or so many things you can do with the property. But it all starts with finding a distressed property and getting under contract. So today we're going to actually look at the sales training process. I had a whole other idea of looking at personality types, how do you approach them, but I actually was listening to a recording of Rachel's call with the lead, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a cool, strong call. I wanted us to break it down. So we're going to do an anatomy of this call, of your call, Rachel, to put you on the spot.
Okay.
But first, I want to ask, Rachel does a lot of calling, and Lena, she's not with us. She's one of our prospectors. She cold calls as well. I wish she was on this call because I was going to ask her this, but I'm going to ask Rachel since I'm putting her on the spot today. Rachel, how much of the Aqua Team sales process can you articulate? Like, do you know it's like 7 steps that I'll go over sometimes, and my this next 90 days, that's what I'm focused on, helping my team know what role they play, what's their number, what's all that stuff. So one of it's knowing the sales process. How do you see it in your mind?
Okay. Yeah. Intro, setting the rules. Is it seeking the pain? Maybe providing the prescription.
Right.
You do the
Nice job, though. Nice job.
Getting called, like, where does CPR time go? Cost, price,
yeah, that's a great question. We're going to go over that CPR.
And then you let them know what's going to happen next, and then you give the handoff. But that's like 5 or 6, so I'm missing something.
You're actually really good job. And let me break that down just in case folks don't know what we're talking about here. And I'm going to, Gail, can you just be on the lookout just in case someone else comes in? I'll make you co-host and we'll share my screen. And yes, you did, I feel like an awesome job with all this stuff up here. Yikes. What's going on? Oh my gosh. My Slack. There we go. Okay. So, yes, you said intro, setting the rules, seeking pain, providing the prescription, the pre-contract, and then the handoff or close. And so in different words, you pretty much had it. The disruption is the introduction. Disruption, like, setting a, hey, how you doing? It's Courtney, or not sounding so salesman-y, saying it, addressing them by their first name, right? And then setting the rules, right? This is what this conversation is about. This is what we're both going to agree to, how we're going to agree to play. Does that make sense? Cool. You seeking pain. Yep. You started talking about seeking the pain. Now you said provide prescription, which is sort of the next part where we're talking about the impact of the pain. And I go back and forth whether these are the same, space or module, but it's more so just knowing the concept, right? So what's the impact of that pain on you? The impact of having that vacant house that you're paying for every month, or the impact of going to a realtor, or not wanting to deal with a realtor, but wanting to sell your property. You said next the pre-contract, which is like around the pre-commitment. But also I think 3, 4, and 5 are really like close together. It's finding deal breakers. Basically, what's your decision-making process? Is there anybody else you need to speak to? There's a closing date, you need it longer, you need it shorter. What are the deal breakers? And then I like what you said about the prescription. I need to like incorporate that language more. But then again, okay, well, here's the pre-commitment / prescription. Matter of fact, on another slide, I have prescribed as right there. So, okay, you're saying this, you're saying all this is all happening here. So if from looks of it sounds like this is the options that would work for you. So if those options work for you and we can agree on terms, what's the next step? Next step, well, let's sign an agreement, sign a contract, let's move forward. Okay, we got a pre-commitment. Or, hey, well, it sounds like this is what's working for you. I can, it looks like the sum might work. Maybe you can talk to my acquisition manager. We can see if you get qualified. Are you ready to move forward and talk to Courtney? And then you set the time. You know what I mean? So it's basically having some type of pre-commitment. And that handoff and close is that next step. Like, right, having a next step, which is what you spoke to Rachel, like the handoff. Now, you did speak to CPR time, which is how you're qualifying the leads. Now, you said CPR time, how you qualify the condition, the price, the reason of selling, and the timeline. And I just put a couple of questions here that look, similar that you may be asking. And there's tons of techniques, right, that you do when you're flowing through these conversations. And so today, what I want us to listen out for, though, is I want us to listen to a call that Rachel made. And I want us to listen, like if you have notes on you, however you're taking notes, but listen to the different stages. See if you can identify if there was disruption, or if she set the rules, or if she sought pain, the impact, if she had a pre-commitment, and did she do a handoff? What was there? Was there anything missing? And then let's identify at least two things that we can share with Rachel that she did really well, and then two things that maybe can be strengthened. Okay, we got the direction. You did as well, Rachel. Right? Well, you all got it.
Yes.
Awesome. So let me just pause and we'll just stare at each other while we to the sound. Let's find it. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Dudley.
Hello. I actually Rachel with Aqua Team Property.
You here?
How are you? Hi, how are you? I'm good. Is now a bad time for you? No, I can talk now. Well, Courtney handed me your
I paused the wrong one. So right there already, I feel like I'm gonna break this down. Okay, so I want you to continue to take notes, but I have to break this down. We're 19 seconds in. Did you notice anything Gail? Did you notice anything that she did, or I already see a technique in there?
She verified if it's the best time to call. If the seller could focus on what she's gonna say or ask, because it's really very important.
Right.
Time.
Exactly. And she asked, is now a bad time? She didn't say is this a good time. She gave the seller permission to say no, which makes the seller feel like they are in control. So that was awesome. Is now a bad time? Just small stuff like that just sets the stage. And exactly what you're saying too, Gail. She's like, okay, now I'm getting you ready. I'm preparing you.
She actually sounded like she wasn't quite ready, like it was a bad time, though.
I dig it. Well, it's still great that you incorporated.
We talked about how we had like the time zone mixed up a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
Information, and I just had a few questions to ask you, just to kind of verify some things, and then after that, I will hand off information to our acquisitions team, and then you will hear from them about the possibility of getting an offer. Okay.
Set the stage. This is what we're going to do. This is what it's going to look like. All right, you ready? All right.
So we have here, and so like I said, some of the questions might be a little redundant, but I'm just verifying everything and making sure that everything's straight. So how many bedrooms and baths is the property? There's 3 bedrooms and 1.5 baths. Okay.
I like how you said, hey, I'm sorry, this is going to be redundant, so you just let her know, hey, this is just what it's going to be. What does that sound? Because maybe, I might mute one of you all. Yep, sorry, I had to mute you, Gail. Sorry, background noise, but no problem. All right, here we go. Let's keep going.
And it says you've owned the property for 2 years?
Now, that part, I really took notes. As she said that, you owned the property for 2 years? I was like, Rachel, why are you asking yes or no question? But check this out. Listen to what she does.
Tell me about that. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I've been babbling, so you might have missed it. My bad. Let me see. Let's see. All right, ready?
Okay. Awesome. And it says you've owned the property for 2 years. Tell me about that. Yeah.
I love it. Tell me about that. What a great technique. Just open it and tell me about that. Wait, what do you mean tell me about owning the property for 2 years? It's just really let you talk. I want to listen. People love the sound of their voice, and I need to get information from you so I can know how to best serve you.
Yeah, so I signed papers September 2019, and I've been living here ever since.
Okay, so you're currently still residing there.
Yeah.
Reflecting back.
Okay. And it says the house is in excellent condition, but the basement needs to be finished and painted.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess the painting is optional. Since we've been living here, we painted the living room, the dining room, and then we just had a.
And you all notice she's going over to see condition. There's one condition right there. So we got one pillar condition. That probably should be another thing I ask you all to look out for. Listen for CPR time. Not only the sale process, but Rachel getting the 4 pillars of qualification.
Well, not just, he's one now. But when I was pregnant, we ended up painting the baby's room. So there is like somewhat, fresh paint throughout the house. And then probably like 2 months.
And here's where you're taking notes. She's talking about baby and half a year, and she's seems like has a warm personality. So these are all this stuff you're taking notes. And if folks were looking at our CRM, you would see that Rachel took great notes. I almost felt like I thought I was listening to I was reading the script of the conversation from like really the notes that you took. And so make sure you're taking great notes out there, folks.
November. So about 2 months living in the house, we replaced the piping.
Oh, okay, understood. Oh, wonderful. Hey, I've got a 1-year-old too, and I get it. I'm over here. My sister's visiting. I'm like blaming something on my C-section. Now, he's 20 months, right? So.
Because I got a C-section too.
Great connection.
I know. I'm like, oh man, he's about to be 2 in a couple months. Maybe I need to find me another excuse.
Now that's so great right here. So like, she built this great rapport, this connection, a C-section, all that. I mean, I know you didn't know she had one, but it was great just bringing that. She had just mentioned something about pipes. Now, I may have thought that somebody might have gone into like, hey, well, tell me more about that pipes, which somebody might circle back to. But again, folks, this really has nothing to do with the property. It's all about that human connection and hearing who they are and asking questions like this and making connections like Rachel is doing. It's exactly what we need to be doing out there when we're talking to ourselves.
For something. I get it. So, wow. Okay. And I'm just looking at the other information. So what makes you feel like you want to sell?
So we're actually originally from Southern Maryland. Like, I'm from Calvert, my boyfriend's from Waldorf, so all my family is in that area. So, when we first moved here, it was fine. Like, we were making the trip. It's just now with having such a young kid, like, it's really hard for us. Like, it's an hour and a half drive one way.
Oh, yeah.
So, we just want to be a little closer to family.
Okay. Awesome. And so there is a little bit left on like the mortgage.
Hello?
Hey, yes.
Oh, sorry.
You're fine. So there is some left owed on the property?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you know about how much that is?
Not exactly.
Understood.
I mean, I can get it by the end of the day, but just not off the top of my head.
Okay. I get that. And your timeline, 3 to 5 months.
Go right through it. Timeline, CPR.
Is that the specific timeline, or is that just what you thought would be doable? Would you be interested in like 90 days or less?
So the only caveat to that is just making sure like our work situation is where it needs to be. So that's why I gave us that amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
If there was a way, and of course, like I wouldn't be able to answer that like right now, but if there was a way that we can figure out our work situation within the 90 days, then yeah. Okay. Excuse me. But that's literally the only thing that's kind of like quote unquote prolonging our situation.
Understood. Oh, okay. Got it. So you're technically, mentally and emotionally, you're ready now. But it's just the, I got it. It's just the logistics.
Yeah.
Nice. Quick little reflecting back. Let me let her know I'm listening. Let me pull all this stuff together. I'm listening to the, the pain, the heart. We'll see where you are. Let her know that I at least check you. Maybe you're wrong. And then you could, go back and check again to make sure you're on the same page. But if you're right, you're still establishing even more, competency and connection, and hopefully be able to serve.
Okay. Well, it sounds like the property is in really good condition.
I love this throwaway. Watch Rachel throw away the deal. Remember, we're always throwing away. Don't chase the dog.
Why not list it with a realtor?
Why not list it with a realtor?
That is another option. But it's more so just me personally knowing how that can go. I mean, for the seller, the seller really doesn't have to do too much. It's usually just a waiting game. But it's just the fact of, putting the house up, then you got to stage the house for pictures, then you got to wait for someone to buy it. Yeah. It's just like, that, in my head, like with how the market is going right now, I can see that taking longer than, just trying to find an investor and doing it that way.
Absolutely. That's excellent insight. A lot of people don't actually already have that. But yeah, that's absolutely right. And there's some other things that we do. We can, we pay all the closing costs. And obviously there would be no realtor fees because you would be doing it directly through us. So there are some.
You see that? Instead of at the beginning, she could have said that any time in the conversation, but she knows that that she says she doesn't want to deal with a realtor. One thing I might have done is connect you. We wouldn't have we wouldn't have to do staging. You wouldn't have to do all this stuff. So connect it back to specifically what she said, but it's implied enough where I think it's really strong what she did there.
Okay, just looking to see.
And another thing I would do, that was a pause there. I thought that Rachel was setting up to ask for the price, but she's about to ask in a couple of seconds. I would have just made those seconds shorter. I would be like, we can do that. So I guess and Weena says this all the time, for if we can do all that, how much are you wanting to take or accept? So it's just a little bit of a.
If I have any other questions, and how much were you looking to get for the?
I would have combined those. That'd have been a great combination.
So,
the benefits and then boom.
The exact number is kind of up in the air because I know this is kind of like a quote unquote unique situation because most people don't sell their home to a realtor after living there for 2 years.
Right.
And when I got the house, I know my loan was only for $92,000 and some change. So it's not like I'm selling a property that's $200,000.
I'm gonna jump because we have a little bit of time left, but I'm trying to move forward to. I thought I heard a handoff. I think it was around 8 minutes, 10 seconds. So let me see if I can get there.
Okay, I think that is all of my questions. If I have any more questions, do you text with this number at all?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Okay.
Great, I like that.
So I'm going to be talking back and forth to acquisitions. If I have any further questions, I can just send you a text message.
Okay.
This is trying to make it a little easier for both because my 1-year-old just walked in the room myself. Anyways.
Great one.
And if you have any questions, you can message this number as well. Okay. Well, Miss Ashley, it was so great talking to you. I appreciate the time. And I hope I gave you a good understanding what the next few steps are. And you will hear from me in the next 72 hours, just to give us plenty of time to do our due diligence. Okay.
I think right there, that was the handoff where we asked at the end of all of our calls, there has to be some next action step, whether it's you going to find your mortgage or me, are you setting up an act, or you calling us, or, we were setting up something, some action step. And so Rachel said next 72 hours. This is a pretty interesting one. I think I would have, and Rachel's on the call, so we'll figure out, what were you thinking, Rachel, as far as like the handoff or the 72 hours? What were you thinking?
Just to give me enough time to try and either comp it myself or talk with you about it. And then also to possibly exceed expectations. So if I'm saying 72 hours and I can get back to her in 24, 48, maybe in her mind, it's like, oh, okay, great. All right. You guys are on top of this or excited about this.
Nice. Interesting. Okay.
But honestly, my number one was just to make sure we don't do the opposite. Like I say 24 hours and then, because it was like noon. So if I say 24 hours and I don't get back until the next day at 6 p.m., then I've already not even reached the expectation.
Right. And this is such a weird deal because it sounds hot, but it's also the timeline is not there because they have so many contingencies. So we want to stay front of mind. We want to stay consulting, shoulder to shoulder, be a part of their journey, but we want to be in there at the right time. So yeah, I think my next step, I'm gonna shut up so I can get your notes from you all. But the next step I think is you do call her back and do a handoff where we get a chance to establish another bit of rapport. We'll be like, yo, okay, I talked to Courtney. He's pretty excited about feel like he could understand it, but he'll still probably call and ask for things. Is there a time that works for you? He's available, and then I'll give you like 3 times. And so that gives me the chance to show up right on time and establish some, rapport too. But yeah, guys, folks, Gail, what'd you think of her call? Rachel, what'd y'all think? What'd you think?
It's really a good call. It's a great call. The pacing of Rachel has always been smooth, as well as with how she's very focused on putting the seller's interest first before stating whatever it is that she needs to state. So I mean, for me, when I was cold calling before, that's really one of the best thing that you could give to them, the time, their time to discuss whatever they need, because most of the time, those are the type of calls that could lead into closing.
Right. We got to act like Columbo. I love what you just said, Gail, about like making sure you listen to the seller needs. Like, yeah, we know we can close fast. We know we can do this. We can pay cash. But that's us. We need to listen to you. What do you want? What do you need? Now let me address that,
Okay. Yeah. I understand what you guys are saying. Okay. Thank you for that feedback, Gail.
You were doing that.
Well, but to kind of like add on to what you said about me saying, well, you wouldn't have to deal with just a realtor. I also could have just more specifically like provide the prescription for not wanting to stage and her possibly not wanting people walking through her home. I could have just more specifically.
Well, we get back to that, and I get to when I talk to her, I'm going to go right back. I'm going to try to open that up again and see. Yeah, because I still think there's a couple of other even deeper. There's always 3rd, 4th, 5th level questions we can ask to really get in there. Like,
right.
You got a family. Why are they? I know you have this job and you're moving. Why are they taking this advantage? Is it a better opportunity for them? Are they excited about their new beginnings? Are they facing financial challenges? All this, there's so many. Yeah.
She did end up saying that it's just too far away from family to have a baby. When they moved, they didn't have the child and they didn't, need somebody reliable to watch the kids. But I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, the reason I asked price at the end is because in my mind, I kept thinking CPR time. Yeah, I got the condition, then I got the reason, and then I got the timeline. I said, good, I got everything. And that's why I was going, just thinking. That's why you said that pause was too long, because I started going down the listing and I said, I never asked price. So that was literally me forgetting. Like I skipped a step. And then when I reviewed it, and I'm like, oh crap, price.
And that's the great part about the CPR time, because we talk about the flow and the deal breakers, but really, if you hang on to CPR time, it's going to take you through all those different things. It's like they're sort of like, they're not sort of, they definitely overlapped with each other. What was just ironic about it is that when you did remember, like seconds before, I thought that was a great setup.
I know.
You know, you're giving a video. Okay, so you know, now that we got you, know, yeah. But yeah, yeah. But folks, this is fun. That was a really cool call, Rachel. I look forward to the handoff and hopefully serving Ashley's needs. They seem like they some cool folks. That's what we get to do. We get to serve folks, and it's all about being better listeners and being good at what we do and making it look easy. But it's work, just like we're doing. So thank you both. Gail, thank you for you all out here on YouTube. Thank Gail. She is the one who actually puts the YouTube videos together. Yay. So we can get that content out there and share with the world. And so that's what we're about to do. I'm about to send this video to you in a little bit, Gail, and we're going to keep rocking and rolling. Let's go out there and keep doing some great stuff, folks. Rise and tide.